inside matters of development in the tech world and also get to the ground and talk about development on Earth. If you want to own a piece of Earth, what exactly do you do? How exactly do you go about it? Is a conversation I'm having here with Mr. Peter Githua Njoki, who is the founder and CEO of Upscale Real Estate Limited, which is a leading Kenyan real estate development and investment company. He has an experience spanning over 15 years. We're going to have some insights from him exactly how difficult or how easy the process is like towards owning a piece of earth, especially kama you're a young person who's just coming up na unadhani kwamba land ni watu ambao wanaenda kuretire wanataka kuchukua piece. You can get it as early as now. How exactly do you go about that? What are the financing options like for you? That is the conversation we're having right now. So don't go far. Just continue sending in your questions as we have this conversation. Welcome to the show, Mr. Peter.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Upscale, wanasema aje huko upscale?
Upscale wanasema own a piece of earth.
Yes.
As effortlessly as possible.
You're saying, sorry?
Own a piece of earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As easy as possible?
Yes, as effortlessly
as effortlessly as possible. Own a
yeah.
piece of earth as effortlessly as possible. Is it that effortless?
Yeah, it is. It
yes.
is effortless.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's get into how effortless it is, but I'm going to allow you to first of all introduce yourself, also introduce your company. Mm-hmm. I'm aware you've been around since 2019,
yeah.
and maybe tell us how the journey has been like so far.
Okay, thank you very much for the invite. My name is Peter Githua Njoki. I'm the CEO of Upscale Real Estate Limited. We have been in existence from 2019, that is true, and we have been able to sell over 1,000 plots since our inception. We are located in Royal Kimbo Center, so 12, which is next to Nibs College, Thika Road. Today, I would like to guide people who are interested in buying property on how it is done and how it can be achieved so effortlessly. Mm-hmm. So we are going to discuss as we go by, and mm-hmm. I'm going to guide everyone who would be interested in acquiring a piece of land or developing what they already have and what factors they should consider when they want to own a piece of land.
Great. Real estate 101. Yeah. That is the kind of conversation we are having here. In the years that you've been operating, you've issued, as you said, title deeds to many investors who
yeah.
have wanted to purchase with you, yeah. and also who have become in sort of that kind of partnership yeah. for development. Mm-hmm. In which areas do you have this piece of land, if you can begin there?
Okay, we have specialized in the Juja farm areas, in particular at the area, and we have recently moved to Mwalimu farm. Mm-hmm. That is where now we are selling pieces of land.
Where's Mwalimu farm?
Mwalimu farm is in Roiro East. Mm-hmm. You can access it through the eastern bypass of Kona. Mm-hmm. You'll do around 10 kilometers, or you can access it through the Roi interchange of Quickmart supermarket.
Right.
Yeah.
Before we get into your particular pieces
yeah.
of land, pieces of earth, as we've mentioned, there are some images, of course, coming to people live on the screen there on some of the sites in which you guys have been, also offering to investors. How does one know the best place to buy a piece of land? If I woke up this morning, Mimi seen a piece of land anywhere, and I want to go and purchase a piece of land. How do I know the best place, maybe location-wise, and also the kind of piece of earth I'm being offered?
Okay, so primarily what happens is you check at what are your investment goals, or why do I need to buy this piece of land? Because if you are working in Mombasa, it wouldn't be prudent to buy in Juja
yeah.
if you are working there permanently. So what happens is you identify, why do I need to buy this piece of land? Is it for purely speculative purposes or capital gain, or am I looking for a place where I can settle? So if you're looking for a place you can settle, the most probable thing to look at is how is it convenient moving from home to work. If that question is properly answered, then you directly need to check what is around me and what are the offers. Yeah, what is around where I'm working and what are the offers around
right.
or available.
Right.
Yeah.
So now at Upscale, you're saying this can be done effortlessly.
Effortlessly.
From what minimum size can someone purchase with Upscale to the largest piece that you're offering?
Okay, at the moment the largest piece we can do is 8 acres. The minimum we can do is a 50 by 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
A 50 by 100.
Yes, that is an eighth of an acre. Yeah.
What normally fits in a 50 by 100?
So actually, a 50 by 100 is very spacious. If it's a commercial property, say for the print area is about, it can fit around 8 one-bedrooms, 8 spacious one-bedrooms per floor. That is for a proper 50 by 100.
Okay.
If it's a home, you can do a proper mansionette. You can do a proper bungalow and have parking space for around 4 cars and a kitchen garden.
You don't say.
Yeah. With proper planning, of course.
With proper planning, of course,
yeah.
and with help from you and your team.
Yeah, that is what we do, because our interest is not only selling to you. We are going to sell you something that is going to serve you. Yeah.
If someone hasn't yet made their decision on whether they want to purchase a piece of land with you or elsewhere, do you also offer maybe advisory to someone who wants to start out and want to know all the information?
Sure enough. There's one thing that I do for myself. Offering you a piece of land is not purely for commercial purposes. You'll come, you'll tell me these are my needs, but according to your needs, I don't have what you have, what you want. So I'll offer you an alternative. This is where you can get, and these are the prices you can get, and this is what you can do with this property. Because I don't see the sense of selling you for the sake of selling, because tomorrow you'll want to do something with this property, and unfortunately for the area I'm selling, it wouldn't be prudent. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's a really nice way of handling customers, of course, ensuring that it's not just about turning profit, but also guiding them well. And while we're still on matters of guidance and advisory, documentation, you've mentioned there, people get pieces of land for different reasons, maybe for commercial purposes, or maybe getting their retirement homes, or maybe starting out building their first home. Is there different documentation for these different reasons?
Yeah.
How is that?
Yeah. One, there are different types of title deeds. So because the primary document, the one the customer is interested in, the primary document is the title deed, and they are different. There is the certificate of title, which is in places like Nairobi, because those are leases for 99 years, and for quite some time there were others for 999 years. But currently, every title deed for the lease is 99 years. Then there is the freehold title deed, and those are what we specialize with, because these are huko mashinani. So those are freehold. Freehold basically means that that property is yours to perpetuity. Unless you sell, it is yours. But for the lease, it shall expire at some point and will be required to renew. Yeah.
So what determines which one is on lease and which one is for the whole one that you mentioned?
That is the government policy.
Oh.
The government has allocated. Say, this area should be for commercial purposes, and this one is going to be a lease. This area is for agricultural purposes. This is a freehold piece of land.
Right. Yeah. Most of this commercial purposes, I'm guessing, are around major town areas and cities.
Yeah. Those are leases, and there is another point to note. In some areas, land was freehold. Freehold basically is interpreted to mean that it is for agricultural purposes, but you can still set up a commercial building after doing something they call the change of user. I'm sure you have seen some small advert on the newspapers that they say change of user notice is given here by that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I see. This information, on whether land is freehold or for commercial purposes, the government has allocated. Is it something that people can get somewhere?
Yeah, actually it is public information, because when you get the title deed to do your search, the title deed in itself is written. This is absolute, which means it is freehold. Yeah, if for the lease it is written and the tenure is 99 years or whatever, it is indicated on the title deed. So it is something that doesn't need an expert to understand. It is something you can get from the title deed itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now at Upscale, you've interacted with a lot of investors and customers who want to get pieces of land. What are some of the, maybe we can get them out of the way, the mistakes that you've seen people make as they purchase land? Because we've seen, we know that land is quite an issue in the country. We know there's so many cases in courts on land and land injustices as such, and people who have not had the necessary information maybe as they go in. What are the common mistakes Kenyans make as they go on to buy a piece of land?
Usually, some of the mistakes are about, so many people invest for the future or for what we say for posterity. So sometimes somebody will buy a parcel with the hope that maybe in the next 5 years this place will have developed so much, I'll be able to put up residential houses or something like that. That one in itself requires a lot of research and maybe some good luck somewhere. Yeah. So some people make the mistake of buying with the hope that this is going to be a commercial area. And some other areas is where, for us, we are selling to people who are not in the country. So you will send somebody to come and view for you, but their tastes and yours are different. So for them, they may say, this is a good piece. This is a good piece, and in the real sense, it might not. And some others will still say, I don't see any future in this project.
But
so you will essentially lose the opportunity of investing, whereas it was ideal for you. But the person you send, their taste is quite different from yours.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are some I have never actually thought about. That is including taste. You need to be there in person to see what suits your needs and what your future projections are. So, come on, take a piece of land. Make sure that unafika huko in person before the transaction is complete. We're now getting into the transaction part of this business. At Upscale, you said there's 50 by 100 all the way to 8 acres, right?
Yeah.
How much? What is the range of pricing like?
For us, we have targeted the lower income group, so our prices are very considerate. We are doing from 400,000 all the way to 3 million for the 50 by 100s. But now for the 8 acres, for an acre is around 4 million shillings. Yeah.
Right. Financing options, especially since we are speaking to young people who are watching this show and they may not be having cash at hand that is totaling up to 3 million or 400,000. Is there a way to finance that plan?
Yeah, we have financial partners. We can connect them if their accounts are good, but we still do paying lipom dogom option up to 12 months.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you're buying a property for 400,000, if you split it to 12 months, you see the installments are quite affordable. Yeah, but still, for young people, I wouldn't advise that you take around to buy property. I would rather you work for it. You come and you sell, and it come, you sell, give you commissions, very high commissions. So you will get a piece of that from there. Yeah, it will be symbiotic.
Don't take a loan to buy a piece of land.
I wouldn't advise. I wouldn't advise, especially if you do not have very good financial projections. It will mess you financially. I would rather you buy in installments because you see, for me, when you come and deposit, say you are around 25% into the property, and things get difficult. You see, we are jointly into it. So it's about me and you to agree. Now I cannot go ahead with this one.
Maybe shikilia pesa kidogo ni
yeah, exactly. Instead of taking a financial plan or a loan. I wouldn't advise to take a loan. There are so many options. Yes, there are so many options
to finance.
There are so many options. Yeah.
Okay, I see. So now, before someone gets a title deed, what kind of documents do they need to have to ensure that it's fully now transferred? The piece of land is fully transferred to them.
Okay, for them, if for example I'm selling to you, I have the titles in my name and in the company's name. So for the particular property you have chosen, I require you to come with your ID, then your KRA PIN, then passport pictures. Then from my end, I'll prepare transfer documents, which you will be required to sign. Then I'll get the consent from the land board. You don't have to be present. That one I can do by myself. Then those are the completion documents from my end. So if I have your KRA PIN, your ID, your passport pictures, and within a very few days, I'll be able to give you the title deeds on condition that, of course, you have completed paying.
You said a matter of days.
Yeah, it's a matter of days.
Normally, we think that title deeds take such a long time, including years, to get processed.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. For those areas that already have title deeds, like Georgia Farm, don't see any reason why it should take years. But there are some areas where title deeds are non-existent. So you deal with certificates and allotment letters. But for us, we are fortunate. We are dealing with places where title deeds are readily available. Yeah.
That's really great. That's really great. So it takes a matter of days for you to get assigned, and of course to get that transfer of ownership to you if you do buy with Upscale. Now, if I already now bought a piece of land from you, and I know currently that you're majorly dealing with the selling of land, post purchase, are there ways, of course, I can still maybe liaise with you or with your partners that you might have, and you can mention them if there are, in terms of developing now that piece of property? I already have it, I want to put up a commercial building, or I want to put a home. Can I also still consult upskill?
Anytime, any day.
How does that work?
So you see, this journey is continuous. When you purchase property from us, and in the event now you want to develop, we have already put up some houses for ourselves and with our friends, of course. So we have reliable people who we can send you to them and tell you, this one is reliable, this one is going to do the architecture part of it, this one is going to do the construction, this one is going to do the planning of the property in the event it is a huge property. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you can still get that even after purchase. That's a really good after sales service. Someone might be watching this from outside Nairobi, in places maybe where you guys have not gotten there yet, and they want a piece of land there, and they want to deal with a real estate developer who might help them purchase the land and also maybe develop it. I want us to use that as a scenario, maybe to sell to sell the positives that you offer as a company. So what should they look at when they want to get a company, a real estate company, to help them purchase a land? What should they look at before they invest with them? For example, if they found another upscale, in PC or in Kisumu, yes, and you don't have property there, so how do they know I need to pick this one and they're like upscale, I can trust them?
Okay, the first thing I usually tell people who want to buy land, make a point to view the property you are interested in. Make a point to view it. Is the property beaconed? Yes. Have you identified the parcel you want? Yes. Get the title deed from the person who is selling from you. Go do a land search, which is essentially free, but of course you might be asked to pay conveyance for maybe 1,000 shillings. But when you get the search in the person who is selling to you's name. Yeah, if I'm selling to you, I'm Peter, the title deed should be in Peter's name. If it is not in Peter's name, there should be a reason.
Yes.
Yeah, there should be a reason. Maybe I'm selling on your behalf. Then, if I have authority to sell on your behalf, then you should proceed with the transaction. Yeah, if those documents are ready, the search is clean, the land is there, they should be able to proceed. But they should draft a sales agreement, then they should agree on how the completion documents are going to be done. Yeah.
And that's it?
That's it.
And they'll be good for it?
Yeah.
Great. You have a plan to help parents secure land for their minors. Could you maybe take us a bit through that? I just had a look at it for one of your Ruiru East Mwalimu farms here, 50 by 100. How does that work, buying land for a minor?
Okay, basically, you see, legally, a minor cannot own property, so the parent is going to buy in trust. So we are going to sell it to the parent, then he is going to hold it in trust for their children. And because the parent is of majority age, they'll be able to do the due diligence on behalf of their children, and then we are going to transfer it to the parent. Then when the child becomes of age, they'll do the transfer to the kids. Yeah, and which is very good, by the way, because if you are buying for your kids, there is a lot of time to wait for, maybe if the area is not fully developed, or you want to see exactly what is happening, or if you are doing it for purely capital gain, there is a lot of time when you are buying for your minor. And it is something that we really advocate for parents to do, because by the time that child becomes of age, the property values will have risen significantly. So if they choose to dispose it, they'll be able to make huge profits. If they decide to keep it, they will enjoy now the amenities that come with the growth and the expansion of the new areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really great. Now, a question, a random one, that I might have, especially coming from the youth and the young people who are mostly attracted to city regions, so they feel the most activities happening around Nairobi, the CBD and outskirts of Thika Road, maybe, or Kisumu outskirts, Mombasa outskirts. Is it better, you as now an expert, is it better for someone to purchase land next to an urban region, ama ninunue huko Geshagi huko ndani mali naweza weka tu makasava zangu?
That one is purely dependent on how much you have. It is good to invest in urban areas, it is good to invest in rural areas. It really depends on how much you are willing to spend for the project.
Okay, so both of the investments can go.
They are viable. They are
Okay.
viable. Only that now, if you are looking to invest in rural areas, there is so much you can do with those areas, especially for commercial purposes. Unless now you want to involve in agriculture, there is so much you can do. But for
I'm guessing
urban
also-
areas, it is flexible.
I'm guessing also in rural areas, capital gain would be a good way to
Capital gain
be a
would
good
be
reason to get land.
Yeah, because the country is growing. The country is growing. Every day people are getting out of school, they are getting jobs, and it is expanding. So those areas, eventually they will be fully developed as the cities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. That is the CEO and founder, Mr. Peter Njoki of the Upscale Real Estate Limited, giving us, of course, some of the factors that you should be thinking about, the processes towards purchasing a piece of land, and also some of the other ways in which you can be involved in matters of development. Maybe finally, we can get a final comment on why it's important. We've been having debates on where exactly young people should invest. They should be investing. Should you buy a piece of land? Should you buy stocks? Should you buy shares? Should you put it in a bank? Should you buy cryptocurrency? But I think also land is a really important piece of investment for someone to make. Maybe a final call out to the importance of someone getting themselves a piece of land as early as possible, and where they can get to reach upscale if you want to invest with you.
Okay, they say that I buy real estate today, they are not making it anymore. So every day the space is getting limited. So if you have an opportunity, invest in real estate, you'll be able to get your capital appreciate in ways that no other sector can appreciate your capital in. We are found at Royal Kimbo Race Center, Suite 12. It is next to NIBS College, Thika Road. You can reach us on 0725 636341.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and I'm hoping that I will start very soon to get myself that 50 by 100.
Karibu.
Mapema sana.
Karibu.
And also for my minor, future minor.
Si umesema-